You can't always measure the productivity output for what you're doing, so you've got to stop trying. Let me tell you a little story. The other morning, I spent more time than I'll publicly admit working on a project that had nothing to do with any of my current projects. See, I was interested in this idea, can I programmatically generate images plus text? I'm obsessed with this idea of trying to offload repetitive tasks. What can we use computer programs to do to make our lives easier? So that's what's driving me. I saw this clever app that's a software as a subscription service that allows you to take an image, overlay text on it, and generate banner images, Instagram posts, and the like. How hard could it be, I thought. One morning, I went deep down a rabbit hole into the internals of the Unsplash API in order to pull images, to overlay text, working on resizing, and so on. And before I knew it, I ended up with a hacked together version of the ability to programmatically generate text and images. Now, this isn't something fancy, it's not AI, and in fact, it's not even related to anything that I'm doing. I just went down this rabbit hole because I thought it was fun, because I thought it was interesting. And then something occurred to me. In today's day and age, we're often sucked into a productivity trap, where productivity gurus are promising one simple trick in order to become more productive, or just buy this book and then you will unlock the secrets to productivity. When we focus on productivity as an output, as a goal of itself, we're missing two incredibly important parts. The first is that learning is not a measurement of productivity. When we take time, we step away to learn something, like I did with this crazy little app. What we end up doing is when we focus on productivity, we never leave time for learning. We never leave time for something that we're interested in, that we want to learn more about. Now, oftentimes, in order to take the next step in your project, you need to learn something. But if you just focus on productivity and trying to do the next thing, you will never invest in yourself. You will never invest in learning something new in order to get over that next step. The second thing that's often missed is building systems is not a direct measurement of productivity. When you take time to invest in a system that allows you to build something bigger and better and more efficient, we will oftentimes sacrifice immediate productivity in order to do this. And if you have this myopic focus saying, I just need to produce widgets, then you never are going to take time to build systems to do it in a more efficient way. Now, unfortunately, getting stuck in these productivity traps where all you focus on is productivity leads to these feelings of, I'm not being productive, which then leads you to search for ways to be more productive, and so the spiral goes. But what we need to do instead is find balance. Balance between doing the work, putting our head down, and coming up for air when we need to learn something new, to build a system that will allow us to push the product or project forward. So how can you be productive? Well, just buy my book on productivity. Bonus points if you actually read it. Or perhaps watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to be more productive. Or perhaps just spend more time scrolling to see what other people are doing to be more productive. Or just perhaps find something you actually like to do, put your head down, and do. At the end of the day, people ask you, what did you do? What did you accomplish? Whose lives did you touch? See, these are the important questions to drive the work and ultimately your own productivity. Now, last idea here. People often think that productivity is a linear line where we start a project and we work on it till it's finished. But that's not true. That's never true. Productivity is always going to come in fits and spurts where something will work and we can make progress, and then something isn't working and we need to solve a problem to overcome it. And ultimately, it's up to you to figure out how to overcome that. Do you need more work? Do you need to take a step back and look for fresh perspective? Do you need to ask a friend or a colleague, what's your idea on this? I'm not a productivity guy who's going to stand here and tell you how to be more productive. But I see so many people getting caught in these productivity traps where they sacrifice learning, or they sacrifice building systems in order to be more efficient, to make more progress, because they are just focused on productivity and output. So what then am I, a scientist, going to do with a little app that takes text and images and puts them together? Well, I'm going to put this out into the world for other people to explore. Because creativity, after all, is a combinatorial activity. And to be creative means playing the long game and sacrificing short-term productivity gains for long-term progress. If you're curious about creativity and want to know more, go ahead and check out this other video where we define creativity in order to try to be more creative ourselves.